What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Matt, and I'm back with another video. And today I have a special guest with me that goes by the name of Jason4.0 on YouTube. I will be linking his channel down in the description and stuff like that. The title of today's video is 4 creepy landlord / flatmate horror stories animated. Let's get into it and see how quote-unquote scary this is going to be.
Not ugly on camera.
By the way, you guys might get a good laughter out of these videos because when it comes to scary stuff, I am jumpy. So if y'all see me jump a whole bunch, just laugh at me and enjoy. Here we go.
My then girlfriend and I went on a big year-long road trip through the States, working on farms along the way for room and board, and ended our trip by driving across Canada, west to east, stopping back in Nova Scotia where we lived. At some point we got a puppy, and around the time we got to Alberta, with an extra mouth to feed, money was running out. Since I'm a carpenter, I decided to find a place to rent, and I would get a job for a few months before we kept going on our trip. We scrolled through Kijiji, the Canadian Craigslist, and eventually found an ad for a place. There was this one guy who lived in a very cool-looking house and was only a short drive from where I had found a job at. He wanted someone to move in with him to help out with the bills. We started corresponding with him by email.
Real quick tip. Never move in with your boyfriend / girlfriend unless y'all know y'all are really serious into the relationship. Because say you move in with your boyfriend or your girlfriend and it's technically their house and y'all and everything is in their name, they're going to be like, oh no, this is my stuff, you're on your own, blah, blah, blah. Never move in with nobody unless y'all are really, really serious into a relationship.
I told him that I was going to work in the area and my girlfriend would be staying home with the puppy. Being desperate and having become accustomed to trusting strangers throughout this long trip, we agreed to send him a deposit and take the offer.
Oh my God, this dude sent money to a complete stranger off Craigslist. You about to get scammed, bro.
We got to this place a few days later. It was in the middle of nowhere and there were no neighbors, but we had known that before. This guy looked to be about 30 to 35, small framed, and just looked like a regular working country dude.
He's a farmer.
Except his expression was weird. It was like he was scared or something. He almost looked like he was ashamed of himself.
His mustache crooked.
He was fine with
like
a dog
a dead ass caterpillar.
though he had a dog that wasn't allowed inside. This struck me as weird since this is the cold Canadian North.
Why does that look like that dog
door,
Chico from
and
Friday?
I thought there was something off about him. It made me uneasy, especially since I would be going off to work every day, leaving my girlfriend alone with this creepy guy. But she didn't seem worried, and I didn't want to be controlling.
See, the ones you don't seem worried about are in reality, those are the ones you gotta worry about.
With us. We obliged politely. He brought us a few cans of shitty watery beer, and meekly drank his, while
this dude said he brought me some shitty watery beer. You should have bought me some Modelo or Corona or something, Holmes.
Across the kitchen table from us. We tried to relax the situation and asked him a few friendly questions about himself. His answers were brief and quiet. He seemed to want friendship, but also seemed completely unsure of how to get it. He went over a few rules he had. Number 1 was to stay out of his room, which was obviously fine. Number 2 was that we were not allowed to go into the basement. Kind of weird.
Red flag.
He got bodies chained up in there. He's got
Red
bodies
flag.
in the basement.
Red flag.
He's a sex trafficker. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Red flag. No.
And number 3 was to stay away from the barn. By this point,
Fuck you got in that barn, huh?
He's dismembering people in the barn.
What's in the barn?
Red flag number 2. Red flag 1. Stay out of the what?
I still going there where he going. I'm not gonna cap. Wait till his ass leave. Y'all gonna rain there.
I forgot what he said. Stay out of the first time.
The basement.
Yeah, he said stay out
I'll
the
be in
basement.
there too while he gone.
He said stay out the basement and don't go in the barn. He got people chained up in the basement and he's dismembering body parts in the barn.
He basically inviting.
I could imagine the headlines. Nova Scotian couple found murdered.
Yeah, that is true. Every time you tell somebody not to go somewhere, that's just going to give them, for whatever reason, more
supposed to start work
opportunity. You're wanting to go in there.
So I just stayed up reading and playing Mother of Pup. I heard his truck pull out of the
This bro said he's playing Mother of Pup. What kind of game is that?
The heck is that?
That sounds like one of them games where you're taking care of a simulation pit. That sounds stupid.
Pretty early in the morning, I headed for the basement because I just had to know what was down there. It was pretty bare. Just a few washing and drying machines and some lawn chairs.
A few? That only looks like
But
two.
I opened a closet door and found a weird nurse costume that looked like it was for sexual purposes.
There's a gun.
He's a cross-dresser. Either that or he kidnaps women and makes them put that stuff on for sexual pleasure. And if you try to get away, he's going to shoot you in the head. Those are just my guesses, though. I'm not really sure.
That's fucking tape right there, yeah.
He's kinky.
A roll of duct
Got
tape,
the handcuffs,
a
too.
set of handcuffs, a shotgun, and a box of shells.
Stupid
all
ass.
sitting together on the same shelf.
I don't see a box of shells. I just see bullets.
So
We're going to edit that out.
You can install an ad blocker and you'll never
I'm not editing nothing out. I don't edit my videos.
Be like,
I woke up my girlfriend and explained that she no longer
Blasphemy.
had any say in the matter and that we were leaving before he got home. We sent him a message after we left, lying, saying that one of our family members had gotten sick and we were moving back home. He never offered to return our money, and we had no more contact with him. I'm still waiting to see him in the news. My ex thinks that I worry too much, but her parents thanked me profusely. And I still wonder, what was inside that barn?
Throw it in the damn barn.
Man, you should have went in the barn, bro. Now I don't want to know.
Hold on.
And because you were too much of a biatch to go in there,
I
now we're
don't
not
know.
going to know what's in there.
I wait
Coward.
till you leave, grab the gun, go right in the barn.
You are a coward. I would have went in there.
The following story is told.
This is another story. This is story number 2 out of the 4.
Female's point of view, narrated by special guest Darkness Prevails.
Oh, this from a female
I
point of
got
view.
married when I was 19, and
Too
my
damn
husband and
early.
I had no clue what to do with our new life together.
Another thing, don't make that sort of commitment like marriage at a young age unless you really think you are ready to take on that kind of responsibility and those kind of demands for your wife. Then don't do it unless you really think you're ready and you're really ready for that type of commitment. Just some advice for you guys.
Jerry Springer episodes. I'm young. I want to party. I'm 18. I mean, duh, you should not got married from the
We dropped out
get-go.
of college, and our studio apartment was too expensive.
Dropped
We
out
thought
of
it was
college.
the ideal time to travel and have
At least they're
adventures
not high
before
school
settling
dropouts.
down. We came across a post on the internet from a man who was looking for workers on his horse ranch. He would provide all meals and lodging in exchange for labor around the ranch. It looked like just the solution for us. He claimed to be very knowledgeable in trades and would teach us to build machinery, woodworking, welding. We actually did learn to weld, which is pretty cool, etc. The pictures were beautiful. The log cabin he built
You know,
was spacious,
sometimes when
and
watching
we had a
these,
nice
like,
big
I don't
bedroom.
want to
There were lots of
discredit
other people in
anybody
the
or
photos.
throw shade
In
at
our
anybody, but
correspondence
sometimes
with him,
I
he
wish
always mentioned
the
other
animation
people and
was
referred
just
to
a little bit
himself
better
as
because I feel like
we.
the better the
He
animation is,
advertises on multiple
the more it would
platforms,
draw
making it
people
really
to
legit.
look at these kinds of
We booked our
videos.
flight. There was nobody else
It's all
there.
about
He
marketing
was
when
in
it
his
comes
60s, but mentally
to
and physically very
wanting
fit.
people to watch your
One of the
content.
first things he said to us was,
That's
I
with
never judge
anything,
people
though, not
based on
just
their
YouTube.
past. Do you believe people can change? I sure do.
Huh?
It seemed harmless enough. He took us grocery shopping and told us to pay
What
for
kind of,
whatever
hold
we
on,
wanted.
hold on.
We immediately
What kind of grocery store just got everything on the shelf? It don't look like this place is lit up at all. It don't even look like it's a grocery store. It look like I don't know, like a barn or a abandoned building. Like, this don't look like a grocery store. See, it's little details like this that you don't incorporate into the animation. It's not gonna draw people to want to watch these type of videos. And look at this dude's shirt. It practically matches the color of the wall.
got the
Yeah,
vibe that his
that's
kindness
his
was
clothes,
forced
though.
and that he was being
I mean,
overdrawn. I'm going
I
to
can't help
into
it.
listing the weird stuff we noticed. He built the house himself. And
She look like she wearing snow boots.
Hey, look like a damn teacher or some shit like that in class. Every time the teacher try to look at another person's test, they ass out in their face.
Somebody
You have to do like this.
Somebody gonna be like, "Oops, I dropped my pencil. Let me pick that up." And they're gonna be staring at the teacher ass the whole
I be
time.
thinking somebody like stretching the pencil accidentally go up her damn ass. She can't get mad.
and his bedroom had a door to the only upstairs bathroom, which he didn't lock from the inside. He would invite us into his room, and on his table was an old video camera with about 30 little tapes
Watch
strewn
him.
about.
Watch him.
He would always talk about how much he loved the Japanese, how he specifically marketed toward them, and had a few Japanese ladies in the past. He often brought up people who had stayed with them before, and all of them had left suddenly, and maybe unexpectedly. One day he told us to get in the truck, because we were going into the city. We were way out in the country, so it was a long ride, but he was really excited about going. He asked us to walk around and ask young people to come with us and work on the ranch. This made us super.
Red flag. He wants young people. People that, usually when it comes to younger people, people that don't really know how to defend themselves properly, and people that are more vulnerable. Notice he said younger people.
This man like he
And he looked like he about 45, 50 years old.
45 the most.
super uncomfortable. We are introverts, and it just felt very odd to approach people and ask them to get in the truck. He got upset by our disapproval, so we got out and pretended to look for people to.
His angry look don't even look angry. Like his facial expressions kind of do, but if you look at his eyes, this
I'm
dude,
sorry. I'm be the one to knock the hell out of him.
dude,
Right
his
through the
eyes,
window.
he just looks stoned. He don't look angry.
I'd knock him through the damn window just for that.
It looks like he's stoned. Wait, so this dude driving, he in the middle and she on the end.
I say y'all gonna do
People to
wow.
talk to. He went to talk to people on his own. As the days went on, his welcoming nature began to give way to a very temperamental and aggressive one. I didn't really find him
I'm
creepy,
fidgeting
but
with the lighter,
intolerable.
y'all. I'm
I
sorry.
didn't like him at all.
I don't know
He seemed
why.
extremely socially inept.
I just
and
have
said
a fidgeting
inappropriate
problem
things.
from time to
It was
time.
also extremely apparent that he did not view women as equal or anywhere near equal to men.
He's one of those people.
Somebody smash the shit out of him, please. Damn.
I can't stand people like that. Women can do just as much as men can do, and sometimes, believe it or not, women can do things better than men can. I hate the type of people that look down on women just because they're the more vulnerable of the sexes. Generally, not all the time. Sometimes men can be the more vulnerable ones, but things like that just irritate me.
To men. He had had military training and was a big, strong man. Cunning. Always thinking.
Lord.
Now, our parents never wanted us to go. They realized it to be a potentially dangerous situation. But
We had a
thought
concert,
we had done
y'all.
our due diligence. However, we never even thought to Google this guy's name.
Hey, he
I
blowing
get
my
an email
flame. I
from
was
my
getting
mom
lit.
one day,
Getting
freaking out,
lit.
and telling me to do a
Hey.
Google search, then get on the next plane home. A quick search showed us his arrest record.
Why?
Strangling and sexually assaulting a young woman. But
Uh-oh. Red flag number 2. Found his arrest record. First, he was looking for young people to work on the ranch with. And now you find out he strangled and
What a gun at?
assaulted a young woman.
headlines reading, "Do not go to this horse ranch. This man is dangerous." We were thoroughly creeped out and booked a flight home. We were then presented with the dilemma of how to tell a potentially dangerous man that we wanted to leave.
Soak him in gasoline and
I
set
forgot
him
to
on
mention
fire.
that he would tell us daily about how we could live there permanently and start a family. He would
Oh,
fantasize
no.
about Christmases with our future children and raising them on the ranch. We thought it was established that this was a very temporary thing, and we had families back home who missed us. This is the weirdest part for me. I made up a lie about an emergency back home, and when I told him, it was like he could see right.
Why?
He about to attack her. Look at him. He's about to attack her.
Why is it when y'all want to get away from this situation, y'all gonna lie and say y'all
I'll tell
got
you
it?
straight like it is. Then he trying to stop me. Whoop his ass.
That's the thing that I don't
Whoop his
understand.
ass.
Why not make up a different lie? Why y'all always gotta say it involves your family? That's what they did in the last clip too. They said they made up a lie about someone getting sick at their family. Is everybody going to use the same excuse in this video?
I'm leaving you, creepy.
Through me. I'm convinced that he not only knew I was lying, but he knew I was going to lie about needing to leave before I ever opened my mouth. This look came over him that I have never seen on a person.
Oh, he about to smack her shit.
Angry, but
he about to hit her with a pimp hand.
Look at him.
Stupid ass. Get out of here. Y'all are not sponsoring me. I don't care. I'm not getting paid for y'all to put my ads in here. Or put y'all's ad in my video. Get out of here.
Or relieved. Before I finished my sentence, he said, "When do you need to go to the airport?" Monotone.
Look at his neck, bro.
I told him right now.
This shit was bouncing.
He took us and put on his friendliest personality and told us that if we ever wanted to come back, he would buy our tickets. We said we'd be in touch. Just recently, I Googled his name again and discovered a page, a forum, for people who had gone to his ranch, mostly couples like us with eerily similar experiences. They spoke about how he says not to judge people on their past, the grocery store, the bathroom, and how they are.
Maybe that's why he said don't judge him on his past, because maybe he did change, but because he had the record of strangling somebody and assaulting them, maybe that's why he said that. But 9 times out of 10, when it comes to people who are arrested for strangulation and assault, they don't change. They just want to make it seem like they changed so they can lower your ass in and do it all over again.
I'm thinking he's going to do it now. He got angry.
They heard him listening behind his door during their midnight bathroom trips, the videotapes, and how they watched them and saw young Japanese girls flexing their arms. Looking through his search history and seeing nothing but Japanese pornography, they talk about how...
I knew it. I should have known. I should have known. This dude lonely. He be whacking his willy underneath the desk while watching porno. Lonely. Just get you a wife, bro. It's not that hard.
Who gonna want that man? Look at him. Who gonna want him?
Like everybody says, there's always somebody out there for everyone.
Medusa?
About how he would make rude remarks to the girlfriends and about creepy rituals.
Pentagram.
Bro, got a satanic symbol on the ground.
He about to use some damn magic shit trying to get somebody.
He wants a demon from hell.
A succubus.
Ritual inside a circle drawn on the ground.
Somebody with some DSLs.
They spoke about being driven to the city and asked to jump out when thin young ladies walked by and tell them to come back to the ranch. I could go on and on. He is still operational. This forum I found was aimed at gathering stories and preventing future visitors to the ranch. The police do not have enough evidence to convict him of anything.
Not enough evidence. Really? Just look at his criminal history. There used to be enough evidence right there.
I left a lot of creepy deeds out. I didn't want this to be too long, and I'm not a great storyteller. I'm unsure whether it'd be appropriate to name the man or the ranch. But the blog where all the others have written about their encounters is probably much creepier than mine.
Wait, here's one thing I want to know. Is this video based off a true story? Because if so, I might do my research.
Who knows?
We got away with much less weirdness because I don't believe I was his type, and he may have feared my husband. If anyone is interested, I may be able to give a few hints so it can be found.
Give me a hint, then. I want to know.
Number 1.
Number 1? Wait, what kind of deep, creepy ass
I
demon?
graduated high school almost a year ago.
Wait, is this a different story? Yeah, this is a different story. This is story 3.
Really had no urge to attend college or military and basically got stuck in my boring hometown for months, where I slowly became dependent on Xanax and booze.
Bruh, he sound like your typical mumble rapper. Your Tekashi 6ix9ine, your little Xans, your little Pumps, everybody with little in their name besides Lil Jon and Lil Wayne. Mumble rappers, oh my goodness. Popping them Xannies and drinking that lean.
And was destined to repeat the cycle of white trash that my parents had set up for me and their parents before, and so on. I knew I had to leave
Generation
my hometown,
of white trash people.
so I decided to sign up
That's
for
what
a
he was saying,
website you may have heard of called wwoof.com, Worldwide Opportunities in Organic Farming.
Oh.
You pay a small fee, and they tell you about available organic farming operations that will feed you and allow you to stay with them in return for a certain amount of work around the farm. The place I decided to commit to was a hair Christian.
What kind of car?
I knew you was gonna say something about that. I knew it.
What kind of car that is? What the hell?
It's a Ford fuck up.
It's a Hot Wheel. It's a deformed
I
Hot Wheel.
knew you was gonna comment about that car. I knew it.
In a community in the deep south. I got there and my car almost immediately broke down. It was a 30-year-old Chevy Blazer I bought on Craigslist for
Chevy
about
Blazer?
$500.
A Blazer is a
I later
truck.
found out that it was
SUV.
beyond repair by this point.
What is
The
he
closest
doing?
town
There's
was
no,
about
look at
3
that.
miles.
There's no engine in there. That's what I'm talking about. Where's your seats at? I don't even see your seats. There's no engine. There's no seats. And he's just moving the wrench back and forth. You're not fixing nothing, bro. There's nothing there.
3 miles away. So I found myself stranded, surrounded by
How
the
you
most
fix? You
unbearable
look like you're trying to
hipsters.
cut a
To
piece
be
of
more
cake or
specific, I
something.
would say about a third of the population
Hold
of
up.
this
Look at this boy's shoes. What are those? I'm sorry. I'm wilding.
were either first or second generation Indian immigrants living near the temple for religious reasons. Another demographic were aging hipsters, also there for spiritual purposes.
Look at how she smoking.
Put that cigarette out. Who hold a cigarette like this? Like, she got a... Hold on. I ain't got nothing that I can... She holding it all weird. I thought you do a cigarette like this. I don't smoke, by the way, but... She holding it like this, putting it to her mouth. How the hell? Oh my goodness.
That's my aunt right there.
But also running the small-scale organic...
Aunt Sadie.
Look at that.
That's Aunt Sadie right here.
Look at the way it goes to her mouth. Who smokes a cigarette like that?
Aunt Sadie.
All that smoke gonna go all
That's
up in
Aunt
your
Sadie
face.
with that cigarette.
With that what? With that what?
That's Aunt Sadie with the cigarette.
Sadie. He said that's Aunt Sadie with that cigarette. What's a cigarette? I thought it was a cigarette. Not a cigarette.
It's that cigarette. People kill me when they say it like that.
Self-absorbed, condescending, right out of college but vapid as shit hipsters. I basically kept to myself, but occasionally was forced into conversations about vibrating crystals and their 3-year spiritual journey.
I'm not gonna comment on that, but if you know, you know. I'm not gonna say nothing, but vibrating crystals sound a little bit suspicious to me. But I'm trying to keep it as family friendly as possible. I can't get my words out now.
Journey, no doubt being funded by their parents. I'd been there for weeks and was desperate for a real conversation. And then Michael showed up. I had heard stories about Michael. A couple of days before I showed up, he had left to retrieve an impounded car.
Crackhead. Look at him. He do crack.
Damn method ass right now.
City about an hour away. Everyone said he was lazy and insane, and would spend hours in his room doing yoga instead of coming down and working with the rest of us. He showed up late in the evening, going on about how he was really going to get involved with the farming, and how he was going to throw himself into the Krishna consciousness. He was in his early 30s and looked like a balding Hasidic Jew. His unwashed sideburns.
That was a little racist, don't you think? Another ad. Oh my god. I'm not sponsored by y'all. Stop putting ads in my video. But it's not my video. I'm just reacting to it. So, oh well, I get over it.
His sentences always punctuated with, and like, giving his utterly fried brain time to figure out what the others wanted to eat.
He low-key trying to roast this dude. He talks like, and like his friend ain't gonna say he got a fried brain. Say no to drugs, kids.
He reminded me of the many friends I had left back home. We became fast friends, as he was the only person.
What y'all playing? Nintendo 85? Y'all playing Xbox 36?
They're like a GameCube controller.
Ain't no PS5. I'm gonna tell you that. We're no 5. What y'all playing? Some GTA 78?
Huh?
Who didn't
I don't know.
have
I'm
the
just
urge to bite
putting
my
title
fingers
games
off
and
when we
random
spoke.
numbers.
We were both from Texas, so we talked about the loony conservative
We were both from Texas. Yeehaw, ladies and gentlemen.
we had in high school, football, and of course, drugs. Every now and then he would bring up.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew he was a drug head. I knew it. He shooting heroin in his veins.
That really threw me off. He wasn't able to get his car out of the impound garage, so he schemed the best way to break it out. These plans involved firearms, pipe bombs, and telepathy.
This dude sounds like your stereotypical quiet kid, if y'all know what I mean.
2619.
Told me he came to the Hare Krishna temple to befriend some of the gurus and learn Reiki meditation, a form of meditation used to control the minds and bodies of other people. He told me he believed he had used Reiki once to seduce a woman at a party. This is when I understood his reputation.
Typical
I simply
people.
nodded and laughed occasionally when he went off on these rants. I knew that one day I would reach a saturation point for his absurdity, but I could probably endure it for a week more.
Look at his eye.
A couple of days later, we were eating lunch with one of the gurus. I was
What
telling
guru?
Michael
There's
about
only
my
two
trip
y'all
to the
there.
giant field where the Branch Davidian used to be. He wasn't sure what the Branch Davidian was, so I explained to him about Waco, David Koresh, and the botched siege operation by the FBI and ATF that led to the death of 76 Davidians and 4 ATF agents. He was enraged upon hearing this. Like, the government is always trying to silence people preaching the truth, man. Like, that's so
Why does it sound like your stereotypical stoner, like, dude from Malibu or something? Like, yeah, dude, that's totally, like, not cool, brah.
I wanted to explain to him that David Koresh was a sociopathic cult leader, interested in power and nothing else, but he wasn't having it. Now I was getting angry. He was throwing a tantrum about a subject I had just explained to him, and now he was
His
telling me that
eyeballs
I'm
better pop
wrong
out his skull.
and that Koresh was a martyr. That's when I saw the truly insane Michael. He was spitting, red as a beet, pacing back and forth. I left the table
Look
and
at
got my
his finger, bro. Why it look like that? Where's his fingernail?
I'm gonna throw a bowl at him so bad.
It look like a foot.
I'm gonna throw a bowl at him.
work, but he followed me. After half an hour of this
Just turn around and
absurd
sock
argument,
his shit.
I couldn't handle it anymore.
You do him like
I'm
Will
not having
Smith
this
did Chris
conversation
Rock.
with a fucking lunatic, Michael.
Hey, watch the F word.
How can I expect logic from you? You came here to get superpowers. The look in his
I don't know why I still watch F word 4. I probably use it more than anybody.
face changed from anger to hatred. He got real still and then came at me. Michael was a big guy.
How you gonna
Much
attack
bigger than
somebody
me.
like this?
He lunged at me and I ran.
You ran!
I
Oh,
went through my pocket.
Oh my god, he's a weakling. I would have. After he hit me, I would have.
I would have kicked him in
Dog.
his damn neck. I'm sorry.
I would have dogged his shit.
Praying that I had grabbed my knife before I left my cabin. I know it sounds ridiculous, but you don't walk around my old neighborhood without some sort of protection.
I know
Plus,
I do too.
It was a pretty
Going
useful
around my
tool on the
neighborhood.
farm. Luckily, I had grabbed it. I turned around and he saw it. He stopped and contemplated for about 3 seconds. He then turned around
Here we go,
and
another
finished his
ad.
lunch.
I got scared because
You
you
thought
pulled out
about
a
it.
knife.
Like, should I go for it?
But I mean, technically, if he really wanted to, he could disarm this dude. Be quiet.
I pulled the temple president aside and explained
Wait,
to him what
you're
happened
the
and
Wait,
that we should probably
you
get
said
rid
you
of him.
explained it to him, but that's clearly a female, dude. I hope. Well, I don't see no bosoms, but man, I don't know. It looks like a female. I would assume it's a female.
It didn't take much convincing.
But now in this day and
No one
age,
really
you can't
cared for
assume
him, and he
nothing.
wasn't much help on the farm. I felt kind of bad snitching on the guy. He was in a pretty
He Takashi 6ix9ine. He snitched.
situation. He had no car, no money, and I can't imagine he had many friends. The temple president also informed me that he had been an alcoholic for 10 years and came here to
Lord,
get
of
sober.
course.
I found it very strange that he never told me this. Later that day, I saw through my window someone drive up and hand him several suitcases for him to pack what little he had. I saw them both drive off to God knows where.
That's the damn
Weeks
trunk.
went by, and the whole encounter...
You saw 2 people drive by, but yet there's only
Do
one
you not
person
see
in that
his
car.
damn trunk entrance?
Now let me go back and look. What the hell? It looks like he just put it on top of the car. What the hell?
What kind of trunk is
I
that?
saw them both drive off to God knows where. Weeks went by, and the whole encounter kind of faded from my conscience. Late one night, I got a text.
It was him.
Hey, this is Michael. We can get my car out for like $280. Want to go traveling?
Hell no, I don't want to go traveling with you. Not after you tried to attack me,
Hell
you crazy
no.
mofo.
To the no.
Yeah,
Yeah, to the no.
Sing it. Yeah,
What you say?
I never responded. I'm not sure how he got my number, but I figured he looked me up on Facebook or something. A few nights later, I was in the temple office using the Wi-Fi to send some emails. I was making my walk back to my cabin, and from the pitch black,
Song in my head.
I could hear a lot of loud banging coming from the barn.
Somebody either getting attacked or somebody getting their freak on.
I remember thinking it must be an animal, but also thinking that it must be a pretty big one to make that much noise.
Look
Buffalo.
at this. Even his shoes match the damn ground. Like, do y'all even try to make this stuff look
That's a
realistic?
casual rare right there. Just put the thing on.
The actual door to the cabin doesn't have a lock, but my
That's
bedroom
not a
door
cabin. That's
did,
a barn.
so I used that one. I was pretty unsettled by the banging,
Who
but
in
I
there?
figured
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Who right there?
Bro, somebody under your blankets.
Who right there though?
imagination was getting the best of me. Later that night, I woke up needing to take a piss. The cab...
I'm sorry. He said that so casually too. Later that night, I woke up because I needed to take a piss. He said that. He emphasized that P. He said, piss. Why you had to say it so hard, bro?
He put 3 P's in piss.
We didn't have a bathroom, but we did have a shared outhouse. I didn't feel like putting on shoes and walking around in the dark, so I figured I would just piss in the sink. I know.
Whoa, man, don't do that.
You dirty mother.
Ew, that is some white trailer trash shit. Oh my gosh.
Word advice: don't share no bathrooms with him. What's next?
What?
I don't feel like shit. I'm just gonna shit. I don't feel like shit on the toilet. So I'm gonna shit on the floor instead.
Is that a shit on my floor?
If not the sink, the fucking floor next.
Well, he did say he had to go to an outhouse to use the bathroom, so you gotta walk outside.
I'd rather do that versus piss in the damn
Gross.
sink.
But I'm the only one who uses
True.
that kitchen. I opened my bedroom door
Wait,
and nearly pissed.
so there you go again, putting so many P's in the word piss. So you gonna pee?
I had to piss.
You gonna pee in a kitchen sink where people prepare? That's
He
nasty.
gonna piss in the damn sink.
Unsanitary as hell.
Myself right there. Michael, completely naked, was crouching in the
Whoa,
corner.
whoa, bro! Whoa!
Oh.
If I see a wing wang, it's over. I better not see no turtleneck up in here. I don't want to see no pig in a blanket now. Come on. Gotta keep it family friendly.
Facing the wall. I made a noise I wasn't aware I could make, something you would hear Shaggy make on Scooby-Doo.
Fucking
I
nuts!
followed Michael to my entrance.
Bro said,
All he did
zoinks!
was glare at me and shake his whole body. I slammed my door and locked it almost immediately. I knew what he was trying to do. He was trying to pacify me with Reiki meditation. I called 911. I didn't.
Wait, so you gotta get completely naked just to do this type of meditation?
I ain't saying nothing.
That sounds suspicious.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
My door or even approach it
Nothing
until I saw the red and blue lights outside my window.
It's to
Michael
police.
wasn't there when they arrived. My guess is he ran deep into the woods that surrounded the farm.
You gonna run deep into the woods, but it's Mickey.
I know you
Explain to the
That's down the
police
soul,
Michael's story and what happened that night. There wasn't much they could do since no one seemed to know anything about Michael.
I'm gonna
I
have to
didn't
look
even know
this
his
up. I
last
want to know
name.
what Reiki
I had to
meditation
leave the
is.
farm shortly after. Calling the police was really frowned upon since I believe many of the old hippies thought they were still avoiding the draft. I didn't mind leaving either. I couldn't sleep knowing Michael might still be out there.
Why everybody their eyes turn red, looking like they high as hell when they either scared or mad as a mofo?
Woods, angrier than he was before.
They
Again.
still look like there's somebody in their bed, bro. Do you not check your bed? Like, is it because you didn't make your bed? What is it? I think somebody about to jump out and get you.
I won't be surprised.
I stayed up for almost 3 days while I waited for my friend to come pick me up.
Mary got paranoid.
The story
More like
about the
Mikey got him
towers-
paranoid. Alright, guys, this is the last story, so let's see how scary this one would be. Or these haven't really been scary, these have just been weird, to be honest. But I guess it's considered scary because if you were in a real life situation, you probably would be scared.
I'll throw a frying pan at him. It would be nothing.
I know there's so many ways you can get out of this situation when
I
you
wouldn't
think
be
about
scared.
it. You just gotta build up the bravery and just do it. Don't
There's
think about
chairs.
it.
I'm throwing the whole bed. The hell, man.
Some people think about things too much. No, just do it.
I'm throwing a damn dresser. You that too.
All right, well, let's get back to the video, and we're gonna stop chit chatting and finish up.
As scary as it is sad, but don't be fooled. There were many moments during this time.
I think this reaction gonna be like an hour long. I might not get as many views on this, but I'm still uploading.
It's also a great opportunity to educate everyone on the dangers related to a common malady. So, turn out the lights and get comfortable. Here comes my scary tale of the nicest, but creepiest roommate I've ever had. Upon graduating high school, my parents hit me with the ultimatum, "You're a man now. It's time you start paying us rent or
Either you get a job or you moving the hell out. That's what she said.
move out and get your own place."
See, I told you.
Heck, I wasn't about to pay my
You either help with the rent or you find your own place. And it sounds like he about to say, I ain't helping my effing parents with the rent, but he's probably going to say folks. But the way he said it a while ago, I thought he was about to say the F word.
move out and get your own place. Heck, I wasn't about to pay my folks to live with them, so the hunt for an apartment started immediately.
Yeah, I was right. It was folks.
Fortunately, I had a job for a couple of years, so I had some money saved up. I think my parents thought I would choose to
Everybody
stay at
should do
home
that.
and
Everybody
they'd
should
be
get a
able to
job
live
and
in
save
peace
up.
with it, but
No matter
I've
what
been
you're
looking
saving
for
up
an
for, you
excuse
should
to get
save
away
up.
from them, and they gave it to me. It wasn't long before I found a place with a friend of mine, riding his couch. This wasn't my long-term plan, of course, but it gave me a chance to get away from my parents. Within that month, I found a guy from work who had just been forced to kick his roommate out of their place for not.
This dude already looks suspicious right out the gate.
Family Guy vibes here.
It's part of the rent. This dude was really cool and possibly the kindest guy I'd ever met, but he wasn't a pushover.
I knows it.
We talked about each of our
Another
predicaments
ad?
and
Come on, stop hitting me with these ads. I'm not getting sponsors off y'all. Leave me alone.
decided I would take his former roomie's place, and it's where I would stay until just recently. We got along great, probably because we were a lot alike, and it also helped we work different shifts. Our days off were spent on the couch playing Halo and throwing down many bottles of beer. Drug tested.
Beer and Halo. Oh my goodness.
us from enjoying things of incredible variety, but we managed to
Whatever happened to Hawaiian Punch or apple juice? Nobody drink that no more. Everybody all about alcohol nowadays.
time anyway. Nothing out of the ordinary happened for the first few months, but one night I got a shock of a lifetime.
Uh-oh.
I crashed out early one night after working a 12-hour shift, the third of that week.
Bro, your room empty as hell. You ain't got no curtains, no blinds. You got a square box that I guess is supposed to be a TV and a table and this bed that looks uncomfortable as hell.
This room plain as hell.
I'm not sure what the time was, but at some point, a loud banging at my door drew me from my sleep. In a slow and groggy state, I rolled over to see what had caused
Banging
it.
like that.
That's when I came eye to eye with my roommate.
Uh-oh.
I was so shocked I could have jumped out of my skin.
Ugh.
After taking a
That
second
was
to
fake,
catch
by
my
the way.
breath, I yelled at him.
What?
Dude, what? But the reaction I expected never came. Turning on my overhead lamp, I still received no feedback.
He's drunk as hell.
Utterly confused, I walked up to him and stared directly at his face.
He punched him in the
He
face.
just looked ahead, standing like a statue, saying nothing. This is when I realized that he must be sleepwalking. Although I considered waking him up, I seem to have remembered that you weren't supposed to do it, so I slowly turned him around and walked him back to
I'm
his
scared
room.
of people that sleepwalk. I'll
When we
slap
got
the shit
there,
out of somebody.
They
told
say
him
it's
to
bad
go to
luck
bed,
if you wake up
believe it or
somebody
not,
while they're
he
sleepwalking.
did. Very pleased with myself and still horribly tired, I went back to my room and locked the door. The rest of the night was happily uneventful.
I'll slap the shit out of him. I'll be
The
scared
next
as
time I
hell.
saw him, which was about 2 days later, I timidly mentioned it to him. I was unsure if he was even aware he did it.
How y'all manage to live together but you don't see him for another 2 days?
What?
Well, he goes to his mom's house for the weekend or something.
I'm scared of that shit.
I
Oh,
didn't want to embarrass him.
open
To my
hands, man.
relief, he was well aware of his condition. Yeah, man, it's something I've been doing since I was a kid. Like most things in his life, he was able to laugh it off.
I'm like, you
He
staying
did,
outside
however,
the house.
apologize for scaring me and assured me that I handled it the right way.
Yeah, me
I
slapping the
more
shit
than
out of you.
likely wouldn't have been able to wake him
Throw
up
some
anyway.
freezing hot water or some
In the
boiling.
future, he would be sure
I
to
said,
lock
I'm
his
about to
bedroom
say that
door
backwards.
and suggest
Freezing
that I do
hot
the
water.
same.
Man, I was about to say
I have no
some.
guarantee it would
Y'all ignore that. I can't talk.
It was worth a shot. I had no other run-ins with my zombie
Ah,
running for another 4
hell
months.
no.
When I did, I handled it the same way as I had before.
He watched
I'm
it.
mocking
Thinking
the
about it for a
damn
while,
door.
It seemed stupid to get involved in this situation. It wasn't something he could control. Besides, there were certain
Do y'all
protocols I could
sleepwalk
take
with
to keep him
eyes
out of my room
open?
at
That's
night.
what I
And
want to know.
once I did,
That ass
I never
possessed.
received another nocturnal visit again. Sadly, by the end of that year, it would cease to be a worry in either of our lives. On December 3rd, I had only
Who's this
just
cowboy
returned from a
mustache
3-day
guy?
vacation. A vacation my boss had forced me to take because I was grossly over-accrued on my vacation time. I didn't tell him, but I was hoping to combine that time with the other 3 days I had coming so I could drink all the way through the holidays till January 3rd.
Oh my God. Drink this. Drink that.
Roll up,
Drink some
drink,
damn
Pass
water.
out, drink, stand up.
Hey,
drink.
quit. You're going to get me copyrighted. Quit singing that song.
Plans had been ruined. My mood was on the bad side.
Shit.
I was vegging out on the couch when I got a phone
That
call
too.
from work. The moment I saw the number on my phone, it put me in an even worse mood, but I decided to answer it in case it was my roommate that was the one calling. Is your roommate there? He hasn't shown up for work today. Unfortunately, it was my boss. I was quick to remind him in the kindest way possible, of course, that I was not his mother and I had not seen him in a few days.
No.
My boss asked me to check his room and see if he was still sleeping,
He know.
and I did because he was my boss, but he was nowhere to be seen.
That man.
His bed was still messed up, which was strange. His anal retentive nature would never let him leave the house without making it.
What is that? Some fortune cookies?
His fortune is him get shit slapped out of him. That's all I'll say.
I promised my boss I'd call him if I heard from him, and I hung up. As soon as I hung up, I called my roomie, but got no answer. Doing the only thing I could, I left a message and went on with my day. There was still no return calls that evening. It really was unlike him to drop off the map like this, but He must have had his reasons. The next morning, I checked in on his
Come
room to see what
on
time
with
he
these
finally came
ads,
back, but
man.
The place can feel overwhelming at first, but don't worry, you'll know your way around here in no time. What's wrong?
things still looked as it had the day before. It was definitely a head-scratcher. This type of behavior was very unlike him. You never know, though. I'd only known him a couple of years. Maybe he had a dark side I'd never seen. Shortly before I left the apartment for work, my phone rang. I checked the caller ID. It was a number I didn't recognize, but then an idea hit me.
It was
He
your
must have lost
roommate.
his phone. And I answered it, trying not to laugh at him. Is this Anthony Curtis? The voice hung up.
Anthony Curtis. You got two first names.
Is not who I expected. I said yes, and his next question was if I was a friend of my roommate, and I answered yes once again. Before he could ask me another question, I asked him one. Who are you and what do you want? His answer threw me for a loop. I'm sorry, Mr. Curtis. My name is Detective Jones with Littleton Police Department.
He's dead.
I'm afraid your roommate, Daniel Grant,
Committed
has
suicide.
been in an auto accident, and I regret to inform you he passed away at the hospital in the early hours of December 3rd.
December. Watch, you about to say, but it's way past December 3rd. Watch, it's going to be one of those type of things.
All I could say back to him was, what? Shock cannot begin to describe what I felt that moment. I guess I had gone silent because at some point I heard him saying, hello, are you still there? After I took a deep, jagged breath, I was finally ready to answer him. Yeah, I'm here. What happened? Where did this occur? I was full of questions. He should have been in his room at that time sleeping, not in public. I continued to ask the cop questions. All we know at this time, sir, was that he was involved in a single-car crash. He collided with a power pole as he ran off the road.
Oh.
His next series of questions
I hope that's not too graphic.
unraveled the mystery. Are you aware of any reason why Mr. Grant should have been on the road that time of night? I told him, that's the strange thing. He should have been home sleeping.
Well, let me
He
guess,
worked
this
that
dude was
afternoon,
sleep
and
driving?
He never went out at night regardless. Well, it was strange that he was driving only wearing his boxers. That's when the whole thing clicked into place. I think I understand now, Detective.
He's sleep driving.
He was a sleepwalker. He must have been driving in his sleep.
I called it. He was sleep driving. I called it. I knew it. I was right.
Our discussion continued for a few minutes longer, and then I made the terrible call to his parents to notify them of the accident. They drove into town from Pueblo the next day. The arrangements were made to return his body to Pueblo, and the date and time of the funeral
I
was
really
set
hope
for
that's
3
not
days
too
later.
graphic.
Just to show how loved he was by everyone who knew him, our supervisors halted all work for that day to allow everyone to attend the funeral. I'm not a fan of funerals overall, but this was one I would never have dreamed of missing. Sending my best friend off right was the least I could do for him. The complete facts of the story were soon released, and it seemed to have played out just as I feared. Danny had sleepwalked his way out of his locked bedroom door, out to his car, and down the road. I had no idea sleepwalking could go this far, but
How does-
man to get the keys?
Yeah, how did he unlock? Yeah, how can you do that much while sleepwalking?
Get the damn
First
keys.
of all, how do you unlock your bedroom door? Then you gotta find the keys, grab the keys, open the front door, go out, open the car. You can do all that in your sleep. That's crazy.
after a discussion with my doctor, I learned how serious the condition could become. Despite the fact neither of us had any idea of how dangerous his sleepwalking could be, I can't help but feel a small amount of guilt in relation to his death. Maybe if we had done some research, we could have put some safeguards into place. But honestly, how safe would a pair of two 20-year-olds really have been? One of us probably
Wait, y'all only 20?
passed out after a long night of video games and drinking and left the doors unlocked.
Well, hell, in this day and age, you can't drink at 20. You gotta be 21.
No one cares.
Fact is, Danny's death was a freak accident, plain and simple. I stayed in our apartment for a couple of years more and just recently decided to let it go once my girlfriend and I found a house to rent together. I guess I stayed around so long without finding another roommate because it would have made his death more real. My girlfriend and I would often do the same things Danny and I did on my days off, and it was almost as fun as the old days, but in the end, I realized as long as I
See,
stayed in
now
my
that looks like
apartment,
a real
I
TV
would
because
never
it's got
truly be able
the
to accept
square
who's
part
gone.
at the bottom. It's got the little
So last
rectangle,
month,
and
the
his
decision
other
was made
TV
to
didn't
pass
look
the
like
place
that.
on to another pair of young guys from work. They had been having a hard time finding a place to rent, and since I'd been in their position not that long ago, it was the right thing to do. I truly hope they have as much fun in that place as Danny and I did, and that their friendship doesn't end in such a tragic way as ours.
Alright guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said in the beginning, I will be linking Jason's channel in the description below. I will also be linking the original video in the description below. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Just be sure to comment what I should react to or upload next. Like the video and consider subscribing to my channel. If you do subscribe, be sure to turn on post notifications so y'all can get notified every time I drop a new video. And until next time, it's been your boy Matt and Jason4.0, and we are out.